What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi K20 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest KangOS on this device. And as you can see from this Telegram post, this is the 26th February 2021 build, but if you go to download it, it will say in the build name that it's 20th February build, I guess. But again, if you notice the build date, let me actually open the website. So in the files section, as you can see, if you try to download it, it says 20th February 2021 as far as I can see the build name over here. But if you go all the way to the right, and this date shows 26th February 2021. So yeah, this is the latest build as of right now, and it includes the GApps if you are wondering. So yes, you don't have to flash GApps separately if you want to flash this ROM. And of course, if you don't know how to flash this ROM on the Redmi K20 Pro, card right over there. I'll link all the important things for this ROM in the description box below. Do not worry about that. And this is a MIUI vendor based ROM, not a OSS vendor based ROM. That's why I flashed it. And this ROM is by Sharif Rahim. And here, let me actually go to the about section and let me show you. This is how it looks like. We have the KangOS branding on the top, and as you can see, there is the logo of the KangOS. And here we have the device specs and stuff. And if you scroll down, we have the Android version. The Android version is 11, of course. And the security patch is latest of February 5th, 2021. The stock kernel is still perf-G kernel. The SafetyNet series is enforcing, and you can see the build number from here. And this is how the settings panel of this ROM looks like. And if you scroll down, as you can see, there are multiple sections. It is like divided with. So if you're noticing these sections over here, those are there. And in the system, let me show you, there is a system updater, so you can check for updates from here, of course, as you are noticing. Let me go back. There are a lot of things like this gestures, and we have the power menu and stuff, and over here we have some sensitive content and stuff. And swipe direct screenshot is there, as you can see, but this screenshot takes this kind of like finger gesture, as you are noticing, this kind of thing over here. If you swipe down, it will like take these kind of things. So I would say the screenshots are not perfect with the 3 fingers, but it's fine. You can take a screenshot with the recents panel too, and this is how the recents panel looks like, by the way. This is the button you can take a screenshot with. Then we have the clear all, then close a particular app, and then share option is there. System navigation gestures, and from here, if you go into the settings, there is the gesture bar increasing option. Then we have haptic feedback, back gesture animation, and inside advanced, we have these extended swipe actions too. Then we have left edge, right edge customization. Let me go back. We have the 2-button and 3-button navigation as well. Then we have the quickly open camera. So if you want to like open the camera quickly, you can do that. And here we have the pop-up camera settings. Now, before I talk about this kind of settings, let me tell you, in this ROM, I have faced multiple times while like doing video calling or just using the normal camera apps. The front camera just closes and it does not open even when I switch to the front camera. Yes, that problem is there. But afterwards, I found out that there is the calibration option. The problem mostly has been fixed. Let me show you what this calibration does. If you click on calibrate, as you can see, it brings the pop-up camera like this. Sometimes, like a couple of times, it does that and it calibrates the front camera for you. So yeah, after doing this, the camera worked fine in video calls or in like normal camera usage. So yeah, that does work. And in the pop-up camera sounds, there is the like sound options, and there is the camera LED as well. You can disable. This is how the default home screen should look like, and this is the default wallpaper over here. Looks very, very beautiful in my eyes at least. Now let me show you the disappointing thing first, because this ROM comes with like old kind of Google camera, as you are noticing. With this camera, I don't really like this camera at all, as you are noticing. Very basic kind of camera. So that's the reason why I have flashed the ANX camera over here. And this is the recovery flashable ANX camera 185R. And you can also flash it with Magisk if you want to. So if you want to flash it with Magisk, you can follow that video from the card right there. Also there you will get the link for the recovery flashable zip. You can just flash that. And as you can see with that, the front camera should be working fine, I guess. No. So right now, again, as you are noticing, the front camera is not working. So yeah, this does happen, but I have seen it like working after some time. So you just have to give it some time. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. I'll do one more time this calibration stuff. So right now, as I have calibrated it, let me open the front camera. Still, it's not opening. It did fail me a couple of times. So if you're serious about taking selfies or attending video calls and stuff, I would say stay away from this ROM, because right now, as you are noticing, right now the front camera is not opening. So yeah, this does happen. I'll try it later on. Back to the stock launcher, let me show you in the home screen settings. Let me show you which launcher is this first. This is the KangOS launcher, as you are noticing. And if you look at the settings, there is the icon packs, icon size changing option, notification dots, at a glance settings, then suggestions. You can disable that too. So that's a great thing that you can also disable the suggestions. And there is the hidden and protected apps as well. So if you go into the hidden and protected app settings, as you can see, from here you can lock any particular apps from here, as you are noticing. Let me lock Telegram over here. And then we have the double tap gesture. This is the double tap to sleep anywhere, and swipe down to clear all, then show Google app, etc. options are there. So widgets in the home screen are working fine, and swiping up gets you to the app drawer. You can search for this over here, and swiping down gets you to the quick settings panel. Now this quick settings panel looks very beautiful, at least to my eyes, as you're noticing. It looks very beautiful when it's in portrait mode, but there is a problem. In the landscape mode, I feel this quick settings panel is not that great. Let me actually show you why I am saying that. Let's open Twitter, and right now let's open this in this landscape mode. As you are noticing, if there is some notifications, I cannot really see it over here. There is a very little space to actually see the notifications. This notification panel is very small to actually use it like a notification panel in the landscape mode. So while watching YouTube or something, you will feel a little bit cramped over here in the notification section. Other than that, in the portrait mode, the notification panel is totally fine. I do not have any complaints with that. Here we have the quick settings panel. You can edit and add multiple toggles over here. As you can see, plethora of quick toggles that you get, and you can add these weather and stuff, screenshot, smart pixel, a lot of options are there. And you can also add these. And yes, I have added a couple of toggles over here. Let me actually show you. The quick toggles has a little bit of lag over here that I have been noticing. As you can see, it's not the smoothest experience in the quick settings panel, in my opinion. If you notice closely, the animations do look a little bit slower when you compare it to other ROMs, in my opinion. And there is the time on the top, then the date and stuff. And we have some profile, then do not disturb, because I have enabled that. And we have the battery and stuff over there. Right now, let me show you. There is the Android 11 screen recorder. Of course, we have the device audio and the microphone audio recording at the same time with that screen recorder. Then we have the always on display, then the OxygenOS kind of screen recorder. With that, you can change these number of frames and stuff, everything else. And then we also have the reboot toggle. So that is actually good. And we have the FPS counter, but I cannot really enable it. As you can see right now, it's kind of disabled over here. So if I go into it, just goes to the advanced settings. But yes, the FPS info or FPS counter is just not I'm not able to enable this for some reason. And heads up, you can disable or enable from here. There is also the DC dimming option. So a lot of toggles that you get, no issues with that. But here you get a really interesting thing by default is the call recording. It has a Google dialer, but still it has the call recording feature. Let me actually show you by pressing a call. So when you place a call, it looks like this, of course. Then you can swipe over here to get the record option. And right now, if I click on record, and as you can see, it says stop recording over here. So it does record over here. And right now, let me just stop it and let me show you how you can play it later. And this is how it looks like in the recents, in the contacts kind of section. And if you play it back, it will play via earpiece, I guess. So let me actually put the phone close to my mic over here. So yeah, as you just noticed, the call recording does work fine in this ROM. So that is great that it does have a call recording at least. And VoLTE calls and Vio Wi-Fi both should be working fine here, no issues. And here are the benchmarks of this particular ROM. Inside Kangie's lab, we have all the customization, and inside status bar, we have the show notification count, brightness control. So you can adjust the brightness by just sliding a finger on the status bar, as you are noticing. Here we have old mobile era type icon, 4G icon, data disabled icon, roaming indicator. Then we have battery styles. Then we also have the big dotted circle and stuff. So if you're someone who uses the big circle icon over here in the status bar, this is covering up because of my tempered glass, of course. So yeah, don't mind that tempered glass. But yeah, other than that, and here we have the battery percentage enabling option. Then VoLTE icon, we can choose the VoLTE icons from here. And there is also the clock settings over here. As you are noticing, you can increase the clock size and stuff if you want to. Then we have the network traffic indicator, and also in the status bar items, we have the headset, Bluetooth, etc. icons. So a lot of customizations in terms of the status bar customizations. In the quick settings, we have the new tint style. I have disabled this one. Then we have background opacity for the quick setting and quick setting tile disco. So if you're someone who likes the quick setting tile in different colors, you can use that. Quick pull down is there, as you can see. Then we have smart pull down too. We have battery percentage, etc. Then show titles and column and row number. You can enable like how many of them if you want. Let me go back. We have the buttons section, and here we have wake device playback control. Then advanced reboot is there. Disable power menu on lock screen is there. And here we have the show volume panel on the left side. Invert layout and pixel animations are there, and long press to toggle torch is there. So that's great. And here we also have the volume panels changing option. Let me show you. By default, this is how the volume panel looks like, and you can change it to these many like compact, audio, tiled, etc. We have the notification settings. Here we have these kind of notification settings. So you can get like disabling option of heads up and stuff, then the in-call vibrations option. So a lot of options. In the lock screen, we have the double tap to sleep on the lock screen and status bar as well. And in the fingerprint icons, as you can see, plethora of fingerprint icons are there. I'll show you the speed and stuff later. Here we have the fingerprint scanner animations. So a lot of animations are there, but I cannot simply find the scanning or the Cyberpunk 2077 animation. That's just not there. Let me scroll down. We have the screen of fingerprint, and here if you scroll down, we have the lock screen charging info. Then we have the like setup weather and stuff. Also there is the forced fingerprint authentication, but let me tell you, this feature does not work for me because after the reboot it simply does not show me the option of the fingerprint icon. So if it doesn't show the fingerprint icon, how can I unlock? I would say that should be working, but the fingerprint icon just does not appear after a reboot. So I have to enter pin once and then it unlocks like with the fingerprint scanner normally. So even though this feature is there, it's not really usable even though my phone is decrypted. And there is also an option to change the fingerprint pressed color. By default it is yellow for me. Let me go back. We have the animations and we have disable transition animation and stuff. Screen of animation, you can change that. Scrolling cache, the whole UI animation pretty much. Even the power menu animation and stuff, you can change that from here. Now in the MISC settings, we have the customized rounded corners, then the allow signature spoofing. And if you scroll down, we have the gaming mode too. So that's great. And smart pixels, you can enable that. Then we have this lock screen charging animation and stuff. And there is the activation delay of the screenshot. Let me go back, and here we have the music customization, and from here you can have these nav bar pulse, lock screen pulse, etc. And these turn on smoothing options are there. So a lot of options in terms of the music visualization, I would say. Now it's time I go into the themes, and again the settings keeps force closing for some reason. And in the accent colors, as you can see, plethora of accent colors are there, and I like the option to actually see the colors over here thoroughly. So it looks really good. I would say there is 3 options: stock, custom, and brand. So yeah, really a lot of options for the accent colors. Then we have the font type, and plethora of fonts, as you are noticing, are there. So no issues in terms of the customizability in this ROM, I would say. Then icon shapes, again plethora of icon shapes. Status bar icons are there. You can change between these many. And we have the quick setting toggle style, and it actually shows how the quick setting toggles will look. So that's the really good thing over here, I would say. So you can, like, before applying, you can see how each one of them look. So this is great. And if you go to the bottom, we have the select panel background model. I am not really sure what this does, but yeah, you can change that. We have the switch style over here. This is the like toggle style over here in the settings. And rounded corners, you can have like too much round if you want to. Then we have the system theme. You can change between these many. I have been using it with the pitch black, of course. Let me go back. We have the scheduling option, and then inside clock style, we have these many lock screen clock styles. And again, as you are noticing, there are plethora of options like the lineage based clock. Let me actually show you how the always on display looks, each one of them, but I'll just skip the default and Samsung Bold because you guys already know the always on display looks like this. Type 1, let's apply, and let me show you. Okay, so this is how the always on display looks like over here. And this is how the dot one looks. If I double tap, this is how it looks. This is another one, looks beautiful in my opinion. And in the lock screen, this is how it looks. Then of course we have this type 1, looks pretty cool, I would say, pretty familiar. It should be if you are coming from Android 10 or something. And we have this one too in the center, same type 1 in the center, as you can see, looks pretty cool again in the lock screen. Right now, let me show you with this divided lines in the always on display, looks cool again in the lock screen. This is how it looks. And this is how the binary one looks like. This is how the fluid one looks like. And as you can see, it has this seconds moving. So pretty great clock, I would say. And here you can see if you double tap, as you can see, this is how the lock screen clock looks. Pretty cool. And we also have this lineage based kind of clock, looks again amazing. If I double tap, as you can see, okay, so this is the bubble animation. And in the lock screen, this is how it looks. Now it's time for the IDE, and this is how the IDE one looks like. It has some kind of coding kind of look, very beautiful in my opinion. So these are the always on display that you get, and you pretty much saw the fingerprint scanner speed over here while I was doing this. So let me actually go back to the backup theme. So you can actually back up a theme from here and you can restore it later if you are applying themes back to back. So yeah, that is very cool. In the display settings, again, the settings force closes. In the brightness level, we of course can change the brightness level. We have the dark theme customization, and we have the night light and stuff. Then we have the screen timeout. And if you scroll down, we have the DPI changing option. We have the lock screen settings. And from here, you can enable or disable always on display, of course. Then we have double tap to wake. Then we have enable blurs and prevent accidental wake up option. Then we have the anti-flicker mode, or the DC dimming mode you may call. Let me go back from here. We have the battery settings, and talking about the battery life, I would say this ROM offers really great battery life. You can definitely get about 8+ hours of screen on time with this ROM. And as you are noticing from the screenshots, the battery life is just amazing on this ROM. And I still had 45% juice left after getting for almost about 6 hours of screen on time. That's just great. And 18-watt fast charging, of course, is working fine. And if you tap here, you can see the full battery usage. This animation looks cool. We have the thermal profiles, battery saver, adaptive battery and stuff. Smart charging is there, and there is also the full charge lasts about how long. And we have the screen on time, then battery temperature and stuff is there. Right now, let me jump into the sound settings. This is how it looks. We have the media call, etc. volumes, and we have the ringtone vibration pattern and stuff. Then if you scroll down, we have the screenshot sound and touch vibration, etc. Then in the direct enhancer, we have the Mi Audio Direct. So you can choose any headset, whatever you have. And the sound quality via the headphone jack and Bluetooth as well, it's great. We also have the sound presets, and we have the enabling hi-fi audio option. Let me go back from here, and inside security, we also have the face unlock. So that is just great. Let me show you, but unfortunately the front camera is just not opening still. So I don't know how can I show you the face unlock. Let me actually reboot the system once. So right now the front camera is working, and right now let me just set it up. Right now let me try it. Let's double tap over here so that the phone locks. Right now I'll just double tap over here. And as you can see, the face unlock right now is working super fine suddenly. And as you are noticing, yes, it is totally working fine. So definitely a reboot fixes it. But if you open a camera and if you open front camera, definitely make sure to close that front camera and switch to the rear camera. And that's when other camera apps should be working fine with the front camera. So yes, that's what I have been noticing on this ROM, that with any camera app that you are using, make sure if you switch to the front camera, just don't go to the home screen or go back from right there. Just make sure you close the front camera and go to the or switch to the rear camera. That's when it will work with other apps. Like if I open the Google camera, and right now, as you can see, if I switch to the front camera, it is working fine. So that's what you need to keep in mind. You have to close the front camera every time, otherwise it might go buggy. Again, the face unlock speed is fairly fast. As you can see, it works 100% of the time whenever the front camera is actually opening. And talking about the app lock, as you are noticing, it shows protected app whenever you are opening the lock tab. And if you tap the fingerprint scanner, it opens that particular app, whatever you're trying to open. Now let me talk about the banking apps over here. And here, as you are noticing, the SafetyNet passes right out of the box. So you can use banking apps like Google Pay here. No issues whatsoever with that. Talking about DRM info, well, if you have not broken it, it will be fine for you. For me, it's L3 because I have flashed the persist image. That's why it is showing L3, but for you, it should be fine. So definitely you can swipe from these corners and get Google Assistant, but yes, the voice trigger just doesn't work. So I would say if you're someone who likes a lot of battery life, but you are okay with a buggy front camera, you can use this ROM. But otherwise, I would say do not flash this ROM if you're someone who uses a lot of selfies or something. So that's how it is. That's how I feel about the latest KangOS on the Redmi K20 Pro. Let me know in the comments. I like this ROM. I am not gonna lie. I definitely like this ROM a lot. But sure, this ROM does have some problems here and there. So yeah, I would definitely mention that. But I really like this ROM. and I can any day daily drive with this ROM if the cameras are working properly. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KD and Tech signing off for today. I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.